Ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, kita sambung lagi chapter 2 bagi kursus Power Quality, iaitu Power and Harmonic in Linear and Non-Linear Load. Okay, ini adalah video part 3 untuk chapter 2. Okay, so dalam video kali ini kita akan discuss berkenaan dengan 2.5. Sebelum ni kita dah discuss 2.1, electrical definition of electrical load, linear and non-linear load, okay, current and voltage, Fourier series. So in this video we will discuss about effective value of periodic current and voltage. Next we will discuss about power calculation. Okay, so effective value of periodic current or voltage. Okay, apa itu effective value? Okay, sebenarnya dia adalah RMS value kan. Ni just revision. Kamu dah belajar sebelum ni sebenarnya berkenaan dengan RMS value untuk sine wave punya waveform. Okay, sine wave. So dalam kuliah kali ini kita akan discuss berkenaan dengan effective value ataupun RMS value untuk kita punya current ataupun waveform yang ada harmonik, okay, yang mengandungi harmonik. Kalau yang pure sine wave kita dah belajar sebelum ni, pure sine wave, okay, pure sine wave, for example, dia punya, let's say, kalau pure sine wave sebelum ni, okay, saya buka saya punya whiteboard, boleh nampak saya punya whiteboard, okay. Okay, kalau pure sine wave, let's say kalau kita ada sine wave, this is let's say pure sine wave. Sorry, ni pure sine wave tak cantik. Okay, let's say voltage. Okay, V peak ataupun Vm. Ni let's say Vm, V maximum ataupun V peak. So dia punya Vrms ataupun effective value of voltage, we call it Vrms. Untuk pure sine wave equal to Vm divided by square root 2. Divided by square root 2. Ingat. Tapi sekiranya ni perfect sine wave. Tapi sekiranya kita punya waveform ni ada harmonik, for example, okay, tak perfect, okay, so kita tak boleh simply guna Vm divided by square root 2. Let's say you assume this one is Vm and then directly divided by square root 2. Tak boleh. So kita kena rederive balik how to calculate RMS value for this waveform. Okay, itu yang kita akan belajar dalam video kali ini. Okay. Okay, let's say kita tengok current dulu. When a current of a single frequency is represent in a system, one can use the measure value in Ohm's law to do the power calculation. However, when current of more than one frequency, okay, kalau kita ada satu frekuensi je, yang kita belajar dah sebelum ni dalam electric circuit dan sebagainya, satu frekuensi je. Let's say ada 1 liter, so circuit dia let's say 50 Hz. Okay, tak ada masalah. Kita boleh directly apply Ohm's law. Okay, apabila kita ada harmonik, of course kita punya frekuensi adalah more than one. Betul? Kalau harmonik, of course kita punya frekuensi kita more than one. Sebab kita ada fundamental frequency F0, kita ada F1, okay, which is N1, kita ada F2, harmonik yang kedua, mungkin harmonik yang ketiga dan seterusnya. Okay, dan seterusnya. So, apabila ada more than one frequency, direct addition, okay, direct addition of current value leads to a sum value that doesn't correctly represent the total effect of the multiple current. Okay, so that instead one needs to add the current in a manner known as the root mean square. Okay, root mean square summation. Okay, so instead one needs to add the current in a manner known as root mean square. Okay, kita kena buat, kita tak boleh simply tambah macam tu, kita kena determine based on root mean square ataupun effective current. So the equation of RMS of current is as follows, which is IRMS equal to square root I naught square. What is the meaning of I naught? I naught adalah DC component. Okay, DC component dalam kita punya circuit. Let's say kalau dalam kita punya waveform, kalau ada DC value kan. Okay, plus summation of n equal to 1 until infinity. Okay, In, this is maximum value maximum value of In over square root 2 square. Okay, whereas this one is amplitude of n harmonic. This is amplitude. Okay, amplitude, not RMS value, amplitude. Okay, amplitude. Okay, so for example lah, kita tengok example ni, macam mana kita nak guna equation ni. Macam mana nak determine RMS untuk periodic current and voltage yang mengandungi more than one frekuensi. Okay, ada pelbagai frekuensi. Maksudnya ada harmonik lah. Bila ada harmonik. Bila ada harmonik. Okay. Okay. For example, determine the effective value of current for the following sinusoidal current. Let's say kita ada current, sinusoidal current, I in time domain. Okay. 2 plus 10 sin omega t. 2 ni apa maksud dia? Ni adalah DC component. Kalau kita draw DC component, kalau 2 maksudnya apa? Fix kan? Fix 2. That's why we call it DC component. DC kan fix. Okay. Plus 10 sin omega t. Ni adalah at fundamental frequency. Omega equal to 2 pi f. In this case, fundamental frequency n equal to 1. This one n equal to 3, harmonic. N equal to 3. This one n equal to 5. This one n equal to 7. At 7 harmonic. Okay, the question is draw its spectrum. Draw its frequency spectrum. Okay, ni dalam time domain. Sinusoidal waveform dalam time domain. Okay, time domain. This time domain contains of DC, fundamental, and then this one harmonic. Okay, kalau kita redraw dia punya waveform ni, kita akan dapat bentuk dia macam ni. Sekarang ni, tengok ni. Kat sini. Okay. Okay, dia punya waveform dia macam ni. Nampak tak? Dia ada harmonik. Tak sepatutnya kita nak perfect sine wave ni pun tak berapa perfect. Sorry, saya punya masalah dari segi lukisan Kita nak sine wave tapi dia tak perfect sine wave, maksudnya ada harmonik. Okay, so the question is draw its spectrum, frequency spectrum. Macam mana nak draw? Okay, yang pertama daripada kita punya time domain punya information. Okay, time domain punya information. Okay, this one time domain. Okay, so kita kenal pasti dia punya information dulu. Okay, satu dia punya DC. DC part adalah I0 equal to 2, this one. Okay, so I1 at the fundamental frequency, magnitude dia adalah 10. I1. I3, magnitude dia adalah 8. Okay. At n equal to 3 kan. Dan seterusnya I5 and I7. So, how to determine the effective current? Ni dia punya current. Berapa nilai current yang efektif? How to determine effective current? We can determine according to the root mean square value. RMS value, which is we need to calculate IRMS. Okay, so how to calculate RMS? We can use this formula. Okay, DC square plus 10 over square root 2 square plus 8 over square root 2 square and so on. So, kamu calculate ni, kamu akan dapat ni adalah RMS value, IRMS, which is effective current. Okay. Effective current for this waveform. This waveform consists of fundamental and DC and harmonic elements. Okay, boleh follow? Macam mana nak kira effective current? Okay, nanti cuba calculate. Okay, and then the last one, draw the frequency spectrum of the current. Okay, how to draw the frequency spectrum of the current? Okay, first apa yang kamu perlu buat adalah kamu perlu draw dia punya x-axis, iaitu frekuensi omega, and then y-axis adalah amplitude. Kalau frequency of current, which mean amplitude of current. Okay, first at 0, frequency equal 0. Kalau DC, berapa frekuensi DC? DC ada frekuensi ke tak? Tak ada kan? Frekuensi dia 0. Kenapa tak ada frekuensi? Sebab DC straight line ni kan. Frekuensi ni benda yang oscillate. Benda yang oscillate, turun naik tu ada frekuensi ni. DC tak ada, dia fixed value. That's why frekuensi dia 0. DC berapa nilai dia? 2. Okay, 2 daripada graf tadi. Okay, 2 IT tadi. Ni saya tunjuk ni 2. Okay, at fundamental frequency, which is at f0, or angular frequency equal to 2 pi f. Okay, which is fundamental, so dia punya amplitude adalah 10. For harmonic at third harmonic, we can write 3 omega. So ni dia punya magnitude. This is magnitude for the fundamental. Similarly to the fifth harmonic, mana fifth ni? Amplitude dia adalah 3. And the 7 harmonic, amplitude dia adalah 0.5. Okay. Okay. Selesai untuk solution example 2.3. So kita tengok power calculation. Sebenarnya power calculation ni kamu dah belajar. So dalam case ni kita akan review dulu berkenaan dengan power formula, how to calculate power, active power, real power. Okay, active power dengan real power sama kan? Okay, kita akan calculate dia punya P. Kita buat review sikit. Okay, kamu punya P. Okay, mana saya punya pen ni? Okay, P, Q dan S, apparent power Okay, power ni kita ada power triangle kalau masih ingat lagi. Kita ada 3 types of power. Okay, reactive power, unit dia apa? VAR, volt ampere reactive. P, real power, unit dia apa? Watt. Okay, kita ada apparent power, unit dia VA, volt ampere. Dan kita ada angle, this angle we call it cos theta. This angle equal to power factor. Power factor equal to cos theta. Okay, cos theta. Okay, done. Chapter 2.6 tu dia punya summary. Okay, kenapa penting power calculation ni? Nanti kamu bacalah. Okay, precise definition of power and its various components is very important to understand the quantitative and qualitative PQ aspect in power system. Power ni penting lah kita kena tahu supaya kita boleh determine dia punya status of power quality dalam power system. Okay, pertama sekali kita buat revision lah. Ni pun kamu dah tahu saya rasa. Instantaneous power. What is instantaneous power? Okay, in AC circuit, okay, power at any instant or at any time, we call it instantaneous power. For example, let's say we have look at to this figure, we have a V, for example, this is a V, waveform of V, the blue line is V. Let's say we have a current, let's say we have the green line is current. So, instantaneous power basically is product of V and T. Product of V and I. VT times IT. For example, at T equal to 1, okay, look at to this figure, T equal to 1, okay, T equal to 1. So, P equal to V at this T, or at any instant, in this case, T equal to 1, times I at T equal to 1, then you can get P. Okay, this P, we call it instantaneous power, at T equal to 2. if you want to find the instantaneous power at t equal to, let's say, equal to 7, so you need to find V7 times by I7. For example, instantaneous power at V7, P7 at t equal to 7 second equal to V at 7 times I at 7. Okay, I at 7. Okay, this one. Find this value and then you can determine instantaneous power, for example. Okay, so unit power adalah watt. Okay, watt. Okay, watt. Okay, bila gunanya instantaneous power? Biasanya instantaneous power ni kita study dalam transient punya analisis. Transient phenomena, transient analysis. Biasanya kita penting nak tengok penting untuk kita tengok instantaneous power, instantaneous value. Kalau tak, mostly kita akan tengok dia punya average value. Okay, average value. Okay. Okay, yang ni kita buat sedikit revision dulu sebelum kita go detail kepada active and reactive power. Dia punya sign conversion. Okay, sign conversion kalau kamu pernah ingat, saya rasa pernah belajar passive and active sign conversion. Okay, before the power consumed or generated by load, okay, power consumed or generated by a load can be calculated. The reference direction of the current and the reference polarity of the voltage need to be defined. Okay, we have two conversion. Number one, we call it a passive. Kita ada passive sign conversion. Apa maksud passive? Passive, current arrow at positive terminal is pointing into the circuit. Passive maksudnya kita punya current, okay, pointing to the circuit. Nampak? Current pointing to the circuit. Maksudnya passive. Okay, so power consumed maksudnya positif dalam passive conversion. Power consumed by the circuit, we call it positive power. Okay, power generate, okay, we call it negative. Itu dia punya definisi according to the passive conversion. Okay, so we can conclude that for the passive conversion, power consumed is positive. Power consumed is positive, and then power generated is negative. Okay, 1, 2. Passive sign conversion. Next, kita ada dua, sama ada nak guna passive ataupun active. Okay, dalam active conversion, current at the positive terminal is point away, keluar. Apabila keluar, okay, power consumed dia assume negative. Power generated dia assume positive. Terbalik je lah. So power terbalik. Kalau menggunakan active sign conversion, okay, active sign conversion, so power consumed basically is negative, and then power generated is positive. Ini conversion je lah, dia punya review kan, berkenaan dengan conversion. Okay, so next, yang paling penting tadi kita tengok kita punya instantaneous power. Biasanya instantaneous power penting dalam transient analysis, transient study. Dalam kes kita biasanya kita mostly fokus kepada average power. Okay, average power or active power, ataupun kita panggil real power. P ya, P we call it active power, average power or real power. Satu lagi nama dia sama je, ni semua adalah P. Okay, P. Okay, usually we concern about average value of power. Average value of power, we call it P. So, let's say the active power consumed by the load. Okay, kita guna passive conversion. Defined as average power consumed over time. So, basically, average power basically definition dia adalah 1/T integrate P with respect to the T from T0 until T, until a T period. So the instantaneous and average power for both have physical meaning and satisfy the principle of conversion of energy. Principle energy conversion. Okay, this P can be absorbed, can be generated. Okay. Okay. So ni P. So kita tengok macam mana kita nak buat analisis. Okay, power in a single phase system. Okay, power dalam single phase system, let's say we have a source and then we have a load. We have a source and then we have a load. Okay, dalam sistem kita, dalam single phase system, kita punya source can be sinusoidal. Okay, can be sinusoidal, maksudnya kita punya source ni adalah sinusoidal. We can say perfect sinusoidal lah. Boleh jadi kita punya source ni non-sinusoidal. Kenapa? Mungkin disebabkan oleh certain application ataupun certain conversion, ataupun kita punya berlaku distortion pada kita punya source. So non-sinusoidal. Okay, contohnya dah ada distortion, spike dan sebagainya. Okay, non-sinusoidal. Can be non-sinusoidal. Okay. Sama juga load. Sebelum ni sebelum ni kita belajar kita punya source ni memang perfect sinusoidal source, dan load kita biasanya kalau dalam electric circuit yang kita belajar, load kita adalah linear load ya, yang kita belajar kan. Okay. Sebelum ni. Okay, dalam kes ni kita consider load kita can be linear, yang kita dah belajar sebelum ni dalam video pertama saya sebelum ni, dan load kita boleh jadi non-linear. Contohnya linear heating punya load, okay, constant Z, ataupun untuk non-linear, contohnya apa contoh kita punya non-linear load? Contohnya kita punya ASD, adjustable speed drive punya sistem, yang tu adalah non-linear load. Okay, so the type of load is going, okay, type of load whether linear or non-linear, especially non-linear, can affect the power quality of the system. This is due to the current drawing by each type of load. Okay, linear load draw current that is sinusoidal. Okay, linear current dia adalah sinusoidal. Okay, which is they generally do not distort the waveform untuk linear. Okay, tapi untuk non-linear can draw current that not perfectly sinusoidal. Current dia dah not perfectly sinusoidal, since the current waveform deviate from the sine wave. So voltage waveform distortion are also created. Okay, berlaku distort voltage pada distort voltage kat kita punya load. Okay. Okay. So dalam video kali ini kita akan tengok apa yang akan berlaku dekat kita punya current sekiranya load kita sinusoidal and kita punya source kita adalah sinusoidal source dan kita punya load adalah linear load. Apa yang berlaku? So apa yang berlaku sekiranya if our source is sinusoidal and our load is non-linear, dan seterusnya sekiranya source kita non-sinusoidal, load kita linear, ataupun kita punya source non-sinusoidal dan kita punya load adalah non-linear load. Kita tengok. First, kita tengok ada 4 kombinasi, 4 possibility. Okay, possibility yang pertama, apa yang akan berlaku sekiranya kita punya source adalah sinusoidal source dan load kita adalah linear. Ni yang common lah, yang kita dah belajar sebelum ni, yang kita dah pernah buat analisis dalam circuit analysis sebelum ni. Sinusoidal source, perfect sinusoidal, dan load kita juga adalah linear. Okay, sama linear maksudnya just R and L, R, L, C ataupun RC dan sebagainya. Okay, kita tengok dulu sinusoidal source and linear load. Okay, let's say, okay, look at to this figure. Let's say kita ada linear load and then kita ada sinusoidal source. Sinusoidal source maksudnya kita ada Vt equal to Vm cos omega t. Okay, perfect sine wave, tak ada harmonik. Okay, tak ada harmonik dah. Tak ada harmonik. And then of course kita punya current adalah perfect sinusoidal waveform. Okay, because I equal to I equal to V divided by Z. Okay, untuk linear load kita punya Z kita adalah fix, adalah fix. So kita dapat kita punya current, okay, with certain angle of displaced angle. Okay, because Z kita ada angle kan, V reference divided by Z certain angle, kita akan dapat ni current. Okay, so active power consumed by the load. How to determine active power? Ingat lagi, P equal to V RMS I RMS cos theta. Okay, P equal to V RMS I RMS cos theta. Okay, unit dia adalah watt. Okay, how to determine RMS value for current? Peak value divided by square root 2. Okay, perfect sinusoidal. Okay, perfect sinusoidal. Alah, tak cantik. Okay, perfect ni dah ada harmonik ni. Sorry. Okay, perfect sinusoidal source. Okay, divided by square root 2. So P equal to V RMS I RMS cos theta. Ni review lah, kamu pernah tengok sebelum ni equation ni. Okay, untuk reactive power consume Q, which is Q V RMS I RMS, bezanya sin theta. Unit dia adalah volt ampere reactive, Q. Okay, dan apparent power S, biasanya kita tulis magnitude of S. Okay, sama ada dia bold ataupun kita tulis dia punya magnitude of S. Apparent power defined by V RMS time RMS, volt ampere. Okay, so ataupun kita boleh determine daripada P dan Q, kita just square root 2 P square plus Q square. Okay, square root. Okay, dua kaedah lah kita boleh determine S. Okay, so kita recall sekali lagi kita punya power triangle. Okay, kita ada P real part and Q imaginary part, and this is kita punya S, apparent power. Okay, apparent power, and then this is a theta, which is angle of the power triangle. So cos theta equal to power factor. Okay, ingat lagi, cos theta equal to power factor. Okay, alright. So next kita tengok power factor. So what is the meaning of power factor? Power factor is the ratio, okay, which represent is the ratio by which the apparent power must be multiplied both to must be multiplied to obtain the power factor is a ratio by which apparent power must be multiplied to obtain the active power. Ni terbelit sikit dia punya ayat dia ni. Sebenarnya power factor basically is ratio of P and S. Okay, ratio between real power and apparent power, which is cos theta. Okay, cos theta. Yang ni dibuat V. Okay, power factor is a measure how effectively a specific load consumes electricity to produce work. Okay, that's why kita punya power factor ni, kalau boleh kita nak power factor, berapa nilai power factor? Power factor kita ni nilai dia antara 0 hingga 1. 0 hingga 1. Okay, kita punya power triangle tadi, power factor dia 0 hingga 1. Bila berlaku 0, power factor kita equal to 0, which mean Q kita 0. Only P, pure P, which is Q equal to 0. Power factor equal to 1, we have only Q, no P. Okay. Okay, power factor. Okay, the higher power factor, the more work produced for a given voltage and current. Sebab tu, okay, power factor kita nak berapa dalam industri? Kat rumah kita contohnya, power factor kita nak greater than 0.85. Greater than 0.85 kita punya power factor. Kalau kita rendah daripada 0.85, kita akan kena penalty. Dekat rumah biasanya tak adalah sebab tak banyak inductive load kan. Kalau dekat industri, kalau power factor kita less than 0.85, kita akan kena surcharge, kena bayar surcharge ataupun denda. Okey. Ni contoh dia lah. Okey. With linear load, P work producing, Q non-work producing, and this is the S apparent power. Okey. Okey, yang pertama dah kita punya sinusoidal source and linear load yang kamu dah belajar sebelum ni, just revision. Okey. So, kali ni kita tengok apa yang berlaku sekiranya kita punya source adalah sinusoidal dan kita punya load adalah non-linear load. Okey, source kita sinusoidal tapi load kita adalah non-linear. Maksudnya kita punya current waveform kita punya current tak sama dengan kita punya source. Apa yang berlaku? Okay, let's say kita ada non-linear load. Okay, tengok gambar ni, non-linear load. Kita ada sinusoidal source. Okay, non-linear load. Okay, sinusoidal waveform yang ni. Let's say V1 sin omega naught T plus theta 1. Contohnya kita ada angle theta 1. But this is for sinusoidal source. But for the distorted current, apabila non-linear, kita punya current kita mesti represent dalam bentuk Fourier series. Fourier series sama ada dalam bentuk sin ataupun cos, tak ada masalah. Okay, let's say kita represent dalam bentuk sin. Okay, omega naught T plus let's say phi n. Sebabkan dia ada harmonic, so kita mesti determine dia punya summation of n omega in sin n omega naught T plus theta n. Ini dia punya angle. Okay, so the question is how to determine the active power or real power absorbed by the load. Okay, berapa banyak real power P absorbed or consumed by this load. Okay, in order to determine P can be calculated by using this formula. Okay, P equal to summation. Kita mesti kira satu persatu. Disipat, fundamental frequency, harmonic component, and so on. That's why dia ada summation. Okay, biasanya P equal to V 1 over 2 V I Vm maximum value cos theta. Okay, theta voltage divide minus theta I. Ni biasanya. Okay, sebelum ni. Ni sekiranya sinusoidal source and linear load yang kita dah tengok sebelum ni. Okay, yang ni cos theta, this theta basically is theta V minus theta I. The different angle between voltage and current. Dalam kes ni voltage kita reference dia 0 lah. Dalam kes ni. Dalam kes ni. Okay, so ni voltage dia. Voltage dia 0. So the different angle. So cos theta whether positive or negative, jawapan dia adalah positif kan. Theta kita ni sama ada positif ataupun negatif. Kalau cos this theta akan dapat positive value. Okay, so dalam kes ni kita kena kira satu persatu. Okay, untuk n equal to 1. Okay, n equal to 2 dan seterusnya until infinity. So that's why kita punya P adalah summation of n equal to 1 until infinity. V voltage. Okay, dalam kes ni V2 ada tak? V2. Kita ada V fundamental je ataupun V1. Okay, V fundamental je. V2 ada tak? Tak ada lah sebab kita ada perfect sinusoidal source. So, V1 times In divided by 2 cos theta 1 minus theta n. Okay, bila kita solve this equation, Okay, the summation of untuk, let's say kita start with n equal to 1. So V1 I1 divided by 2 cos theta 1 minus V1 plus, okay, untuk n equal to 2, okay, V2 ada tak V2? V2 kita sama dengan kosong. V2, V3, V4 dan seterusnya adalah kosong. Sebab kita ada sinusoidal waveform, tak ada harmonik. Sinusoidal waveform maksudnya tak ada harmonik. V2, harmonik part dia tak ada. So, equal to kosong. Kosong times current, of course dah dapat kosong lah. So, kita punya P equal to this equation. Tinggal yang ni je. Okay, which mean that we can conclude that our P equal to active power equal to V1 fundamental at fundamental frequency times I1 current at fundamental frequency cos theta 1 minus V1. Okay, this is theta V minus theta I. Okay, ni adalah RMS value. RMS value Jangan confuse pula. Kalau yang ada tanda ni adalah peak value. Okay, because RMS value ataupun VRMS equal to V1 RMS equal to V1 peak divided by square root 2. Similarly to I1 RMS equal to I1 peak divided square root 2. Okay, ini adalah equation power untuk case sinusoidal source and non-linear load. Boleh? So notice that the only non-zero power terms is at the frequency of the applied voltage. This result tell us a sinusoidal source. Okay, ni dia punya conclusion. Sinusoidal source supply power to a non-linear load by delivering current at fundamental frequency. At fundamental frequency which is n equal to 1 sahaja. That's why we have a V1 I1 cos theta 1 minus V1. So what we can conclude that only fundamental frequency can provide real power. So in this case, only fundamental frequency can provide the real power. Okay, because kita ada perfect sinusoidal waveform at fundamental frequency. Okay, current delivered at harmonic frequency doesn't deliver any power. Okay, current kita ada harmonic tak? Ada harmonic. Tapi that harmonic doesn't deliver any real power or active power to the load. So how to determine reactive power? Similarly to active power. So we just determine V1 Q equal to V1 I1. Okay, instead of cos, for reactive power we convert to sin theta 1 minus V1. Okay, similarly to active power, the non-zero terms for reactive power is at the voltage frequency. Okay, this is for reactive power. Okay, we already derived equation for active power and reactive power. So next, what happened to our apparent power? So apparent power S. Apparent power supplied by the source to a nonlinear load must be included to account for the current at frequency which are different from the voltage frequency. Okay, current at frequency which are different from the voltage frequency. Okay, sebab kita ada distortion, so current kita ada pada non-fundamental frequency. Okay, maybe 2F, 3F, 4F and so on. So the term distortion watt ampere, we call it D. Okay, ni apparent power. Distortion of apparent power is traditionally used in the computation of S. So total apparent power equal to P square plus Q square plus lagi kita punya distortion volt ampere, which is D square. So the question is how to determine D, how to determine this distortion volt ampere, where D is given by multiplication of harmonic voltage, okay, harmonic voltage and harmonic current, okay, harmonic n equal to 1, n equal to 2, 3 and so on. So we can simplify that D square equal to V1 square times summation of In square, summation of In square. When we simplify this equation, we can get this one. We can get this one, which is, okay, V1 square times I square minus I1 square. Okay, this one is total RMS current. Okay, this one total RMS current. But and then minus I1, I at the fundamental, so you can get this one. Okay, so you can determine D square by using this formula, which is D square equal to V1 square I square minus I1 square. Okay, I1 square. Okay, lagi mudah. Kita determine according to the total RMS current, and then kita minus dengan dia punya fundamental frequency at n equal to 1. Okay, kita tengok example. Jadi kita tengok example, ada example lah. Lagi mudah. Okay, so how to determine power factor? So power factor samalah, once you dah calculate P and S, so power factor you can determine power factor P over S lah, P over S. This is a P and then this is a S, apparent power. Apparent power, so V1 times by IS. Okay, so from this one, P equal to V1 I1 cos theta 1 minus V1. Okay, P, this is a S, V1 RMS, V1 RMS times I RMS. So from here we can cancel out this one, V1, okay, V1. So we have a I1 over S1. Okay, I1 over S1 cos theta 1 minus V1. So this one we call it distortion factor. Distortion factor. The ratio of I1 over IS, we call it distortion factor. Okay, we call it distortion factor. Okay, what is the meaning of distortion factor? Okay, distortion factor basically represent the reduction in power factor due to non-sinusoidal property of the current. Okay, reduction of power factor due to non-sinusoidal property of the current. The quantity cos theta 1 minus theta I is called displacement power factor. Okay, displacement power factor, and the same as power factor in linear circuit. Okay, displacement power factor, which is same as in linear circuit, with sinusoidal voltage, which is angle between sinusoidal voltage and current. Okay, ni contoh dia punya power factor relationship in non-sinusoidal okay, power factor relationship for non-linear load. Kalau linear load, kita punya power factor direct macam ni. Okay, we have a P, we have a Q, and then we have a apparent power. Tetapi disebabkan oleh non-linear load, kita ada D, which is we call it distortion volt ampere. Okay, distortion volt ampere. Okay, in this direction. So kita punya S ada new S. Okay, ni dia punya relationship, okay, among the P, Q and S in non-linear load. Okay, next look at to the example. Kita tengok example. Okay, example 2.4. Okay, sinusoidal voltage source. Okay, let's say we have a sinusoidal voltage source. Kita illustrate dulu lah, mudah sikit untuk faham kan. Okay, let's say kita ada voltage source. Okay, apply to a non-linear load. Okay, connected to the non-linear load. For example, this is the load. Okay, and then dia punya current, let's say this is IT. I ni adalah non-sinusoidal current because of the non-linear load. Because of non-linear load, so kita ada non-linear punya current. So this is our VS, sinusoidal source of VS. This is kita punya current. Okay, so the question is, number 1, determine the power absorbed by the load. Macam mana nak determine power absorbed by the load? Okay, kita ada voltage, kita ada current. What is the value of power absorbed by this load? Okay, number 2, determine the power factor of the load. Power factor of the load. And then C, distortion apparent power, which is a D. Okay, distortion factor. Okay, and then calculate distortion factor. So kita fokus yang ni dulu. Okay, how to calculate power absorbed by the load and power factor of the load, A and B. Okay, power absorbed by the load. How to determine power? Okay, so kita dah tahu based on equation tadi, P equal to V1 I cos theta P minus theta I. Okay, guna equation ni. Okay, P equal to V1 I1 cos theta. This theta basically angle of voltage, and this phi is angle of current. Okay, so the different angle equal to 30, yeah. Okay, current angle of current is 30. Okay, so cos minus 30 sama juga dapat positif lah. Sama, cos minus 30 equal to cos positive 30. Okay, dapat dia punya power absorbed by the load 650 watt. Okay, clear ni. Okay, B, power factor of the load. Power factor. Macam mana nak calculate power factor? Kita dah tahu power factor is the ratio of P over S. Okay, power factor. Okay, berdasarkan power equal to P over S. First, kita dah ada P dah ada, kita dah calculate P. So S, then we need to determine S. Okay, we need to determine S, apparent power. So S equal to Vs times Is. Vs equal to Vs times Is. Dalam kes ni Vs dah ada ke belum? So Vs kita boleh kira Vs. Okay, RMS value, RMS voltage equal to, okay, supply voltage 100 divided by square root 2. Okay, we can get the Vs. So RMS current, kita boleh kira RMS current dalam equation yang saya discuss sebelum ni, kita dah prove sebelum ni, which is I0 square plus summation of n equal to 1 until infinity. Okay, this one, sorry, missing square kat sini. In over square root 2 square. Okay, ni ada square, sorry. Please take note, square. Okay, square. So, I0, this is part of the current, which is 8 square plus 15 over square root 2 square plus 6 over square root 2 square and so on. So, kita akan dapat RMS value of current. Okay, this one is I. Total lah. Total RMS value of current. So, power factor equal to P over S. P equal to 650 watt divided by VRMS. Vs RMS times by I RMS. Times by I RMS. This one Is this one Vs. Okay, so equal to 0.66. Or alternatively, you can determine P equal to V1 I1 cos theta divided by V1 Is, and then you recalculate, then you can get the same answer. Okay, this one equal to P, this one equal to S. P equal to V times I cos theta, S equal to V1 ataupun Vs times Is. So V can be cancelled out. That's why tinggal je I1, this one Is. Bila kita calculate, kita akan dapat jawapan yang sama. Okay, so dapat kita punya power factor. The next, you need to calculate distortion apparent power D. Okay, yang ni balik kamu cuba calculate dia punya D. Okay, dia punya D dan calculate dia punya S. P square plus Q square plus D square. Berapa jawapan dia? Cuba calculate. Cuba buat yang ni So you punya task cuba jawab yang ni. And then next you calculate dia punya DF. What is the value of DF? Yang ni tolong calculate. Berapa jawapan dia? Okay. So itu saja untuk video kali ni. So dalam video kali ni kita dah discuss macam mana kita nak kira kuasa, power untuk different circuit. Okay, different source and load. Okay, so video kali ni let's say kita dah ada load. Okay, kita ada source dan kita ada load. So untuk video kali ni kita dah discuss macam mana apa yang berlaku terhadap power P, Q and S sekiranya kita punya source adalah sinusoidal. Sinusoidal and linear load. Load kita adalah linear. Satu. Yang kedua, kita dah study macam mana apa yang berlaku kepada kita punya circuit, current dan power sekiranya kita punya source adalah sinusoidal tetapi kita punya load adalah non-linear. Kita punya load adalah non-linear. Apa yang berlaku kepada current, P, Q as well as S ataupun power factor. Okay. So untuk next video ataupun next kuliah kita akan discuss berkenaan dengan apa yang akan berlaku sekiranya kita punya source kita non-sinusoidal dan kita punya load kita linear. Apa yang akan berlaku sekiranya source kita non-sinusoidal dan kita punya load adalah non-linear. Yang ni kita akan discuss dalam kita punya next kelas kita nanti. So, itu saja untuk kuliah pada minggu ni, untuk video kali ini. So, kita akan jumpa dalam video yang seterusnya bagi chapter 2. Okay, itu saja. Jangan lupa jawab exercise ni. Cuba jawab exercise ni dan kita akan discuss dalam kelas face to face kita pada minggu hadapan. Okay, itu saja. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.